It's bringing a new meaning to Out of This World. Next year, a capsule containing Indigenous music will be launched on a NASA mission to the moon. It's a collaboration between the Lunar Codex, the estate of Norval Morrisseau, Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs Canada. Corey Dingle, the CEO of the Morrisseau estate, said the project is a reflection of the late Anishinaabe artist.
This is a continuation of Norval Morrisseau's vision that he had early on in his life to document, to preserve, and to share the Indigenous culture. And so we cannot think of a better way to preserve the culture than putting it on a lander on the solar polar ice cap of the moon for 1 billion years.
Blake Andrekoneb is an Anishinaabe artist from Laxal First Nation in Ontario. He's working on the visual art for the project.
The CEO of the state of Norval Morrisseau reached out to me and asked if I knew any Indigenous musicians and if I could link him so they could put their music on the moon. We started talking, and then he offered me to do the cover art for it.
Andrekoneb blends elements of the Woodland School with pop culture.
I've just been thinking a lot about space and obviously the moon, but I'm thinking back to my early childhood where I wanted to be an astronaut, stuff like that. So it's like, gonna have fun with this piece and just see what happens when I draw.
Canadian physicist Samuel Peralta founded the Lunar Codex during the COVID pandemic. The Codex buys space on NASA rockets to launch art to the moon.
And we basically found a way to miniaturize and archive the art and put them into payloads and send them to the moon. When my friends in the arts heard that, they were elated.
Sending a kilogram of material to the moon can cost over $1 million US. So the works are printed on nanofish, a technology that can store over 1,000 works of art on a disc about the size of a quarter. Peralta says nanofish can last over 1 billion years.
If I bring this up close, you're going to see little dots on that. And every dot on that piece of nickel the size of a quarter is actually a page.
After launching 3 capsules into space, Peralta felt it was important to incorporate Indigenous art.
So I was on another interview similar to this when the announcer asked me if I could have any artist in the world, what artist would I like? And immediately I said, Indigenous artists. Right after that, I got a call or an email from the estate of Norval Morrisseau.
A capsule including some Indigenous visual art, including a piece by Mi'kmaq Ellen Sillaboy, landed on the moon in February. The Codex is now into a 7th capsule called Polaris. Sound waves of songs by Indigenous musicians will be on it and sent to the moon. Jessica Svenningsson is a project lead.
Going to the moon is not easy. And if we're willing to put all this time, effort, and energy into saving something, that means it was something important to us. And so I would like to think if someone came across this in the future, whether it was human or extraterrestrial, then they would take away that this was important and this was something that we really cared about.
Indigenous musicians have until December 31st to submit their work.
If you're an Indigenous musician, I highly urge you to go to the website, officialmorrisseau.com, and try to get your music on the moon.
Songs will be selected in January 2025, and the Polaris capsule will tentatively launch next November. Sierra Bettens, APTN National News, Winnipeg.